It's Onyx Storm release week. Happy Monday. So I just wanted to talk to you for a little bit about this book, 𝖊𝖉𝖆. Hope you appreciate the mood lighting. This is typically the nighttime lighting as I wind down for bed. I know this isn't really like good lighting for reading, but currently we've only lived in this house for a year or two now. And we slowly had to work on furnishing the entire house because we went from a small condo to double the size. So our bedroom is the next on the list. So you'll see the walls are bare. There's not a lot going on right now. Bear with me. I did want to take a moment and talk about this book. So this is 𝖊𝖉𝖆. The book is by Kaylee Smith. And I picked up this book because it was recommended to me by a lot of the creators that I follow. This book is a dark fantasy. It's my first dark fantasy. I wanted to give it a shot just to see if it was something that I was into. Romantasy has kind of been my favorite genre so far since picking up books in August, and I did want to give a dark fantasy a try. So far, my thoughts of this book is it is spicy, guys. If you're not ready for the spice, do not pick this up. The story is about, I don't want to spoil anything. The story is about a woman named Ophelia. Her mother dies in the very beginning of the story. That's kind of how it starts. And Ophelia is just trying to learn how to navigate life with her sister now that her mom is gone. And she starts to uncover some things about her mom and the life that she thought she had. She starts uncovering all these secrets and things that she didn't know about her mom or her sister or even herself. This book is really fun. It's about Ophelia entering a game to try to win some money to pay off the debt that her mom owed before her death, and she meets a really cool character while in this game. Now, I don't want to make it sound like it's a fun game. It's actually like literally life or death. You either win this game or you like forfeit or die. Like, those are the options. It's a very intense book. There are some trigger warnings, so make sure you check them before you start reading this book. But if I could summarize this book, I'm only about 60% of the way through. If I could summarize this book, I would say it's spicy. There are not like too many twists right now. There's a lot of good lines that we get from our male main character. There's a lot of humor in this. I kind of want to describe it as if you liked Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. If you liked that series, but you wanted more from Jax, like Jax was giving, but like not enough, then you're ready for this. I really enjoyed the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, but I really enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed Jax. Jax was like one of my favorite characters, but I wanted more from him, and the male main character in this book is definitely giving more. So if you're into that, pick this up. I don't want to rate it too early. In the very beginning, I was struggling because it was just kind of setting the story of 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎 and her sister. But once things started picking up, this was a page turner for me. I wanted to keep going. I was thinking about this book after I put it down, and now I definitely want to finish it between now and when I get Onyx Storm. I really like to get this one finished, but yeah, it's highly recommended so far. Again, I'm not finished yet, but I would recommend it to you. If you're into dark fantasy, if you're into kind of an emotional ride of a woman trying to find herself, this is it. It is the night before Onyx Storm. It is Onyx Storm Eve, and I've decided to do a little weekly Onyx Storm themed vlog. What does that mean? I don't know. It probably just means that I'm gonna patiently sit here and wait for my book to come in, and then when my book comes in, I'm gonna read it. This week will be full of work. Work does not stop, unfortunately, when a book comes out. If I could have guaranteed that I would have had the book by tomorrow morning, and if I would have had any vacation time left, I would have taken the day off, but that's not how life works. But
she is very excited to read her book.
The world does not stop for Onyx Storm, unfortunately. Onyx Storm is the third book in the Imperium series.
So what? I thought it was like a storm.
It's probably gonna be a storm. So where we left off in the book, 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎 turned venom. He is now on the dark side, so that's gonna play out. Violet helped raise the wards with Andarna and her mom and Liam's sister, and I'm excited to see where the story goes. Fourth Wing was the first book that I read that started my book journey back in August. So if you haven't noticed by now, I have my entire family here in the basement with me. My daughter is behind the camera, helping me keep this conversation going, and my husband is clickety-clacking over there in his game. What have I been doing to prepare for Onyx Storm? Current read right now is 𝖕ntasma. It's an amazing book. I already kind of think I'm gonna rate it pretty high on the scale, and I'm hoping that I can get through the rest of that book before Onyx Storm comes. I think I have about 40% more to go, so who knows? I might not get through it, but that's okay. I will put that book on pause in order to get Onyx Storm started. I am expecting Onyx Storm to come in tomorrow if the tracking is not lying to me. I bought it from Indigo. I pre-ordered it, and it is supposed to be shipping via UPS. And UPS, although no updates for it, it's saying Tuesday, January 21st, between 11:15 and 3:15. So hoping it will get here by the time I get home. I've been trying to keep my distance with Bookstagram and social media in general. I'm noticing a lot of the world is reading it right now. They either got it through Kindle, being in like a time zone way ahead of me. I'm seeing that stores they have their displays out already. So people are definitely reading it. People are definitely getting it right now. And I don't want spoilers, especially for this book. I don't want any spoilers. So trying to avoid it as much as I can. I probably won't get the book completely read and within a day or two. So I'm not going to avoid social media for like an entire week. I'll just have to deal with it. So what is the plan for Onyx Storm once it arrives? Say it arrives here by its listed time at 3:15. I'm gonna have to work till 5, and then after 5 I'm gonna shut out the world by putting on my headphones and hopefully get a good chunk of the book read by bedtime. I usually go to bed around midnight, so that should allow for enough time to at least get through the first 100 pages, but I'm confident that I could read probably maybe 100 to 200 pages. Part of me does also want to kind of savor it and not binge read it all in one day. I think it's gonna probably end up being a few days. I'll read it over the course of a few days. So that's kind of the plan. I probably will have it finished by Friday. I'm really excited to hear what people think about it. I'm excited to read the reviews. I'm excited to see where the story goes. And I'm really excited to see where the book community goes with this third installment of the series. So this week is going to be really fun. It is January 21st. It is Onyx Storm release day, and I'm so excited. I woke up this morning and the first thing I did was check my tracking, and the tracking says it is in a city an hour and a half away from me, and it is out for delivery. So hopefully it is on its way here, and I will have the book in my hands by the time I get home from work today. I'm so excited. So excited. I think I've decided I'm going to try to stay off of social media as much as I can between today and tomorrow. And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. Here, it arrived. It's a beautiful book. My package was a little snowy, so hopefully there was no damage, but it's here. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. It's so pretty. The edges are beautiful. So pretty. Oh, I'm so excited. It's finally here. To the ones who don't run with the popular crowd, the ones who get caught reading under the desks, the ones who feel like they never get invited, included, or represented, get your leathers. We have dragons to ride. That's so good. So on my lunch break, I got notification that my package had been delivered. I had to rush home on my lunch break just to verify and confirm that it was in fact in my possession. And the box was sadly sitting in the snow. So I'm glad that I came home when I did, because there's no telling how much more snow would be on it at the end of the day. But I have it, and it's here, and it's beautiful, and I love it, and it looks so gorgeous. I'm really excited to come home after work and read it tonight. I've already told my husband, like, look, I'm coming home, I'm isolating myself, I'm putting on the headphones. I don't want to exist to anyone. I don't want anyone to need me tonight, because Zaddy needs me. So that's where I'll be. Really excited to jump into this.
So much more.
Love you so much. Thank you so much. Just kind of wanted to show you guys what's going on here real quick. This is the setup. Here we got the drink of choice is the caffeine-free diet Pepsi, because your girl can't hang with caffeine anymore. Leftover pizza and breadstick from Little Caesars. And then over here we have all my little tools. So we've got the 3 remotes set up. We've got the bed remote, the TV remote, and the fan remote. Got the book light here. We've got the headphones here for the brown noise reading. We've got the book sleeve with the tabs inside, my glasses inside, and a marker inside. And then, of course, we have the cell phone So that's a situation happening right now. Cheers. Probably put something on while I'm eating, I guess. Put on some YouTube. So I just finished the prologue. I started reading after dinner. It sounds like Violet is following Xaden down to the area where they're holding Jack. And Violet is having a conversation with Andarna about what they can do to save him and how they could try to cure him, or like what their plan is. It sounds like Andarna is really on board with saving Xaden. She really believes that she has the ability, and Violet seems pretty hopeful. I don't know how Violet knew about Xaden. It kind of skipped that part. I'm wondering if he was in the room with her and she like opened her eyes while she was sleeping and she saw his eyes. But I guess we'll see. The story hasn't even started yet. That was just the prologue. But I just wanted to check in before I get real cozy and dive deeper into the book. Just so glad it's here, and I'm really excited to keep reading. Today is Wednesday, the day after release, and yesterday after work I managed to read a little over 100 pages. So I read the first 100 pages. I think I'm taking my time with this one because I've noticed with the first two books I tend to skim over some of the things that I don't understand. I'm realizing now that the politics and characters, they're kind of like a lot. Like there's a lot going on. I don't want to leave Onyx Storm with unanswered questions that could have been answered if I just comprehended what I was reading. If I don't understand something after the end of a chapter, I've been finding myself going back and rereading the chapter just to make sure that I know what's going on. Again, the politics are a lot, and sometimes I don't always understand what they're referring to or what Yaros is saying. So that has slowed me down a little in reading. I think I'm making good time though. I started reading around 6 p.m. and I read until 11 and I got to page 118. So I guess that's not bad. It's just not fast. But again, it's not a race. It's a marathon. I want to enjoy this book fully. I want to take my time. I want to understand, because I know that with each chapter, this stuff will make more sense if I know what's going on. I don't want to spoil anything, but I've been taking notes. I've been tabbing some of the things that stand out to me, like some oh shit moments, some what the fuck moments. I've been tabbing the spice and I've been tabbing the funny moments. And so far, what has come through this book in the first 100 pages is humor and kind of, I wouldn't classify them as twists, but they're kind of moments where you're like, oh shit, you know? So that's mostly the book so far. I think we've only had a few, one or two spice scenes, and there's a reason for that, and that's explained in the book. I noticed that this book is giving me a little bit of anxiety, so one of my like triggers is feeling trapped or stuck because of Xaden's situation. I'm feeling that like dread and doom when I read this book. It's not anything serious. It's not enough to make me stop reading it, but I'm feeling that anxiety. I'm anxious, like, oh my gosh, like what's going on? Is this really happening? Like what's going to happen? You know? So, and that's good. You want a book to evoke that kind of emotion, I think, from you, because that's what keeps you turning the pages. So tonight I'll just do my regular reading. I'm not going to dedicate any special time to it. We're just going to take it slow and steady. It's a big book. 529 pages. It's a big book. It's just as big as, like, dimension wise, it's as big as Iron Flame and Fourth Wing. So it's a big book. It's got relatively like dense pages, like the words are a little smaller, the spacing's a little smaller. There's a lot of information to take in on one page. So not a race. It's a marathon.
Did you?
Yep.
I'm so happy.
We have 2 jars of sauce.
Then I will hop and I'll pop and I'll blow your house down.
Yes, he did.
Little pigs, let me come in.
No, not spaghetti. Rigatoni. Phone's lighting up.
Why do you have to make a video of people?
I don't think so. Susan, let's go outside and have a look around. We might see him. All right.
You can be both. Trust me. Oh, my tabbies. Take your medicine, folks. Here's your reminder. Take your medicine. He threw it back. He threw it way back. Oh, I'm gonna read Fourth Wing again. No exceptions, Sorengale. Why am I so obsessed with that man? Oh, that's right. This is a really intense moment. So we have reached the 50% mark of the book officially. I have just finished chapter 30, and so far we have made good progress in the book. There's a lot of things starting to stir in the story and the plots. Things are starting to surface. The book's gonna begin to pick up steam. If you have not read Onyx Storm yet, or if you are not this far in the book yet, please skip forward because I don't want to spoil anything for you. Chapter 31, we've reached the part of the book where Violet's starting to explore the different aisles. They've reached their first one and they wanted to meet the queen. They had to bargain with one of the guards, the captain, I guess, and the guard has agreed to bring part of the group to see the queen. Violet walked up the temple steps and now she's realizing that these people within the temple have silver hair. So this is a big turning point. I think Violet's going to learn a lot about her history, why she has silver hair. Is she related to them? Has she experienced something that they've experienced that turned their hair? And I feel like she's going to learn a lot about her past and her future here. 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 also is struggling during their last visit where Prince Halden messed everything up. 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 lost his cool and he drew some power from, I don't know if it was like a coin or something he was holding in his hand, and he killed a lot of people all at once without magic. So that was suspicious. People were curious how that happened. So needless to say, I'm excited to reach this point in the book, and I'm also not. I'm excited because I know that the story is going to pick up and a lot of stuff's about to happen, but it's also stressing me out so bad. This book is so good at really drilling it into my brain that there is no cure and that our 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 is slowly losing himself. That's the part that stresses me out. This is book 3 out of 5, but will 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎 make it through? I have no clue. Also, I was texting my friend earlier and telling her where I was at, and she told me that chapter 42 is emotional AF. I told her, stop, I don't want to know, I'm already in shambles and I'm only at 50%. I literally can't handle it, so we are strapping in for an emotional ride.
And you know he has a new one coming out, I think February or March.
Josh wrote all this whole table is
Kind of a big deal.
This is a map of the human planet. They don't live on Earth.
Nobody wants to live on Earth. It probably is.
It's like the Hungarian one too. It is.
You're such a nerd.
Tried to trick me.
They just put Oh my gosh. He's in the mouth. second. And this one says that her dad like returned and her daughter will never forgive him. And I'm like, that's okay. A lot of good things are happening, so that means something really bad's gonna happen now. So I am officially 90% of the way through Onyx Storm. So far, this is a 5 out of 5 book for me. Kind of knew it would be. The story is picking up pace. Things are happening. Big things are happening. I've already cried one time. The twists that are happening are not what I expected. As reading through this book, I've tried to prepare myself for multiple endings. I have my predictions, but I didn't see either of these things coming that have just happened. We're towards that part of the book where every chapter is ending with a blow, like a big blow. There's some correspondence in the beginning of one of the chapters that made me question what was going on. I thought that I had figured it out, but then after finishing that specific chapter, I think that I was incorrect. Chapter 53, the correspondence at the top of the page was like, whoa. But I think I was wrong. So it's still kind of whoa, but not in the whoa that like I was whoaing, you know? I've got some big key moments marked between chapter 53 and chapter 59. It's like bam, 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 chapter, you know? I would say the book had a lot going on in the beginning. The book has a lot going on at the end. The middle was filled with a lot of humor, a lot of parts where I was really obsessed with what was going on. There's spice, but there's not a ton of spice. Oh, my vacuum's done. I went to Indigo last night and there was a huge display of these books, Iron Flame, Fourth Wing, and there was also a lot of little trinkets and doodads on the table as well. And one of the cardboard displays that were on the table said something about Brave the Dark. I wonder what that's about. I thought I knew what the title meant when I first got the book, but now after being 90% of the way through, I realize it kind of was referring to something else. So I am just, putting on my seatbelt, preparing for the ride, gonna enjoy the journey in this last 10%, and I fully intend on shedding some tears. I just finished the book. What time is it? What day is it? I finished the book. Sunday. What time is it? 3:47. I am so confused. I literally turned the last page, fully expecting another chapter, and it was just acknowledgments. I'm so confused. First of all, I have whiplash, and everything is so, like, I feel like I'm Violet. Everything is foggy and confusing. I don't know where I am. I don't know what day it is. I'm scared. I'm afraid. I need to simmer. I need to sit and I need to simmer. I need to digest. I've already went back a chapter and read the end again because, like, I need to make sense of everything. The last 90% of the book, I'm just like, what's going on? I mean, I get it. I'm reading it. I know what's going on, but, like, what is going on? And I'm trying to give you guys, like, a proper reaction without spoiling anything. All I can say is I have questions and I'm confused and I need answers. None of it ended the way that I thought it would. Nothing. No, I didn't get any of it right. Why is 𝖒𝖊𝖉𝖎𝖆 so good at cliffhangers? This is by far the best one, or the worst one. That may mean the same thing. I need to sit, I need to simmer, I need to think about what I read. I need to reread and listen and read and wow.